Hey guys, back for another beer review. This is going to be a re-review. Just got off work and I knew I had this sitting at home waiting for me, so I thought I'd get into it. I can really use a beer at this point. And this one, like I said, re-review. This is one I did back in 2011. That was the last time that I can recall this was available to me. Uh, this is Garrison's Black IPA. Unfiltered. When I reviewed it the first time, I gave it a 4 out of 5. So we'll see if I'm as generous this time around. Um, Perhaps I overrated it a bit. I tended to do that early on in my YouTube career. 6.2%, just like it was back in the day. Says Holy Hybrid, a legendary hop forward style, goes dark and deep with a big roasty stout base. Heavily hopped and unfiltered black IPA is a tasty beast. Ingredients are water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. And I don't know if they've changed anything in this. From what I understood, when it was first made, it was basically a combination of their Imperial IPA and their Martello Stout. So we'll see. I don't even know if it was their Imperial IPA. It might have just been they just might have thrown a shitload of hops into this. Um, but anyway, if you're not familiar with Black IPA at this point, well, probably been living under a rock or you're new to craft beer. But essentially, it is a very, very hoppy stout. That is the style, essentially. Um, you can also hear it be called like Cascadian Dark Ale, maybe Black Pale Ale out there somewhere. Instead of putting the India moniker on it, just using the Pale Ale. I think some people do that. I personally like Cascadian Dark Ale better myself, but all right. So if you put the light up to it, it's pretty deep ruby red actually, and so basically you got the color of their Martello Stout there. Looks black just looking at it with some brownish highlights down there. Uh, but yeah, it's like most stouts are usually this very deep dark ruby red, and with all that compressed together like that, the color just looks black. But all right, so he's got a little slightly tan head there, and we'll go right to the aroma. Mm. All you're getting is grapefruity hops. Maybe a slight bit of malty roast in the back, but yeah, there is a nice little malt roast in there. I didn't really rewatch my previous review, so I'm kind of going into this blind, and I don't know how how this actually compares to the previous one. So that I had. I mean, it's been years since I've had this, so I couldn't tell you really if there's big differences or not. Very nice aroma. Very good standard sort of grapefruity hop aroma there coming up. Smells like a American Pale Ale slash IPA kind of smell, and it's just got a little bit of that chocolatey, malty roast going on in the background. Almost what do you call it, green coffee or something along those lines. Um, Cheers. We'll go right to the taste now. Hmm. Body is pretty light, bit thin, as my friend Paul would say. I think the body's actually thinner than it ever has been. Um, I seem to recall the body being a bit thicker. That's back when their Martello Stout. The body on that was a tad thicker. I had this year's version of the Martello Stout as well, and it was fairly thin. But this tastes even thinner than that. A big hop attack on this one. Right off the bat, you get a little bit of the roasty malt character, a little bit of that stout taste. Immediately goes right into the hops, and you're getting essentially the really sort of dry, puckering grapefruit sort of hop thing going on. Very much like reminiscent of their Imperial IPA, more so than their regular IPA. You're getting a little bit of sweet, almost chocolatey notes from the roast on the sides of the mouth, mostly at the roof of the mouth. And there's a nice lingering taste. Yeah, getting a little bit of chocolate sweetness in the end as well. But mostly it's that bitter grapefruit lingering aftertaste. It's fine. Like I said, I gave it a 4 out of 5 last time. This does taste. The body is thinner, but excuse me. I seem to recall that maybe the stout and the IPA weren't very well balanced with the original one, not as balanced. I don't know. I'll have to check my review, my original review to find out. But this seems pretty well balanced. You get both beers showcased, both sides of basically their stout and their IPA sort of showcased here. But man, I wish there was more body to it. I really do. I could really use a little bit of thickness to it. Maybe a little bit more aggressive on the roastiness. That's just my personal preferences. Would I give it 4 out of 5 this time around? No, I can't do it. But that being said, I'm not going to knock it down too harshly. I'm going to go 3.75 out of 5 for the 2015 version of Garrison's Black IPA. I don't know. I think maybe it's just my palate's changed in the last 4 years to where, because I don't know, this probably hasn't changed all that much. It's probably pretty much the same thing they did back then. So I think it's more just my palate is changed. I don't find this as exciting or interesting this time around, but it's still a very well made beer. Don't get me wrong. Very nice to drink, especially if you like dark beers and you like lots of hops. So it's a win-win. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.